Hi, I'm Wanda from Elanda Craft, and we recently bought a Dream Machine too, and we absolutely love it. Now in this video I'm going to take you through the external features of the machine, and that'll be part one. And in part two I'll take you through all of the screens that are available to you. So let's get started. So on the right hand side of the machine what we have is the on and off button. We also have the slot to plug in your machine, so that's the power cord. Now we have the flywheel here like on any machine, and this is for manually moving your needle up and down. There is a lip here, and if you have that in the 12 o'clock position, so facing straight up and down, that means that your needle is in the highest position and it makes it easy for threading. Down here we have a holder for our sensor pen and our stylus. Make sure you get used to putting your stylus in here because it is handy to know where it is at all times. Now when your machine comes, it has a little cover in there that you just pop out with a pin, easy to do, and then you just slip the holder into the hole, and as I say, it holds your sensor pen and your stylus. Now over here we have the input for the stylus pen, so that goes in there. And then we have a USB port, so you can plug your USB port into this port and transfer files. You can also plug a USB mouse into this port here, and you can attach this machine to your computer. Now this makes beautiful sounds, and it also has lots of training videos in there, and if you don't want anyone else in the house to be disturbed, you can plug in some headphones into here. Now this port here is where we put our multifunction foot, so that goes in there. You open this cover here, and this is where you can put a wireless card, and that's for wirelessly transferring files onto the machine. And we have a little slot down here, and I really can't tell you what that's all about because there's nothing about it in the manual, so I won't discuss that at this point. So now we come to the front of the machine, and as you can see we have this absolutely beautiful 10-inch LCD screen. Just lovely, lovely and bright. You can see everything that's on there when you're working. It also has the date and the time on here. Now here's your speaker down the bottom here. Now we have this lovely 11¼ inch throat, so ideal for quilters. So let's just go across the buttons now. This is our automatic threader. Absolutely wonderful. I just love this. This here is our speed control. You can, when you're sewing, you can go fast or slow depending on what you're doing. You can also change this in the settings so that it actually controls your zigzag. So if you're doing a lot of zigzag, you can change it to a setting that means that this button here, as you slide it up, will go wider or bring it down to go narrower. Now this is to lift our foot. Here we are, we have this will cut the threads, and this is your needle down position, something that most quilters use a lot. This is a tie off, so it'll tie a knot in your threads. You have your reverse stitch, and this of course is the very important button. This is your on off button. Now we also have the usual, you have different presser feet, and you can push a button at the back and they'll drop off, and then you just attach them again. And then if you're wanting to put your walking foot or some other attachment on here, you've got the screw where you unscrew it and replace the whole shank there. Now I've got the 1/4 inch plate in here because I do a lot of quilting, and I like to have this one. This is beautiful because it's got the 1/4 inch and it's got all these other little doodads on here. You can see exactly what you're doing. Now we have an accessory tray. You've got one at the front and one at the back, so plenty of storage there for the things that you use a lot while you're sewing. And this of course simply slips off, and we slip that off when we want to put our embroidery frame on, so I'll show you that at a later stage. Now we also have a knee lifter here. Now I don't use this because I prefer to use the button here for my presser foot, but this is set. You can set it into 3 different positions, and that just slots into here. So if you're a person who likes to use a knee lifter, by all means go ahead and pop it in there, and you'll be delighted because, as I say, you can put it into 3 different positions so that it suits you. Okay, so now we come to the top of the machine, and as you can see here we've got the carry handle which tucks away nicely, and we'll just lift the lid. Now we've got an accessory tray at the end here, and I like to keep my screwdriver there. I've also got a spare foot and a bobbin, but you can keep what you like in there, whatever's most convenient for you. Now we have a thread holder here when we're going to do our bobbins, and our bobbin thread comes through this thread guide and around the pretension guide, over here to the bobbin holder and the bobbin winder. Now this is where we put our thread for our sewing machine for sewing, and we take it just following the numbers on here on how to thread the machine. It's all very easy and it's all well numbered and goes from 1 to 7. And I'll be doing another video for you on how to wind your bobbin and how to thread your machine. So now the next thing I'm going to show you is how to remove this top, because what you can do is you can put a thread holder on there and it simply slips in the back and pops down there, and there you are, you have another 2 spools for thread. Okay, now on the back of the machine we have the lever to raise and lower the presser foot, and we also have this port here, and this is where we attach our embroidery foot and also our walking foot, and they both plug into that port there. So now I'm going to show you the embroidery unit, and as you can see I have it attached to the machine. I've removed the accessory tray and I've slid the unit into the machine so it's ready to embroider. And when I've got that all attached, I take my hoop and I slide it in under the presser foot and down the edge here so that it sits in place, and when it's in place I simply lock it in there. So that's the end of part 1 of our external features of the Brothers Dream Machine, and there'll be a link in the description below to go to part 2, in which we'll be discussing the screens.